the amazing Herbert Murray.
Hello everyone, thank you all for coming out. My name is Herbert Murray, and when I was 21 years old, living in Brooklyn, New York, with my girlfriend and my daughter, who was only 13 months at the time, we just moved into our, apartment, and I was working at a job of a cook helper for 5 years. And my daughter was my lifeline. My daughter was my everything. And then all hell broke loose when 7 detectives knocked banging on my door. And when Jackie answered the door, they rushed in yelling, "Where's Herbert Murray? Where's Herbert Murray?" When I came into the room, they snatched me up, threw me up against the wall, put a gun to my head, and told me I was under arrest for murder in the 2nd degree. A murder that I did not commit. A murder that I had 5 alibi witnesses. One of them was a New York police officer. But after 2 years, after 2 trials, I was found guilty. And my whole life just turned down. The first thing that came to my mind was my daughter. I'm gonna miss my daughter. Right a week before I went upstate to one of the corrections facilities, I was on Rikers Island. And I was in the day room when an individual came up with an iron mop wrench and hit somebody in the back of the head. This guy fell down and blood was gushing out his head, back of his head. And out of sympathy for this individual, because the person that hit him in the head was attempting to hit him a second time. And out of sympathy, because when people are in prison, you mind your business. But out of sympathy, I grabbed this individual. And I grabbed him and held him and motivated other individuals to hold him until the correction officer come. And they didn't come until about 15 minutes. And this man, I don't know if he died or not, but I was sent to Rikers Island. Upstate New York. I had a death wish when I came out of Rikers Island. A death wish is when the individual is so drawn and beat up and frustrated because of the criminal justice system, is all the injustice is because you're poor. They're not treating you right. I wouldn't do anything to myself, but I did things to other individuals who I didn't care if they killed me or not. But when I got upstate, and once I went into that facility, an Auburn correction facility, after a few years, I seen so many people dying. And fear, dying in prison became my worst fear. So I changed my life. I started surrounding myself with positive people. I got my GED. I obtained my associate's degree. I was in the process of obtaining my bachelor's degree until the former governor, George Pataki, came in there and eradicated colleges all throughout the prison system. Therefore, I became a teacher's aide. I became a director of a youth assistant program. I became a Marvin prisoner. I went to my parole board. The first 4 appearances, they gave me additional 2 years because I had maintained my innocence. I would not take responsibility. So they continuously hit me with these 2 years. That's additional 8 years on to the sentence the judge gave me, 15, which is 23 years. So I became so desperate. I wanted help. I want to go home bad. So at that 5th parole board, I admit to the crime. And I felt I sold my soul to the devil. I was strong, standing on the truth, but now I have no hope. So they still gave me addition to 2 years. So I'm trying to reason with myself. Why is these people giving me 2 years? I admit to the crime, but now they're saying that because of the nature of the crime, and because I won't stay in liberty out in society, they gave me 2 more years. So I go before them a 6th time, and I told them I didn't do it again. Because again, I became desperate, I wanted out. And they still gave me additional 2 years. I got 25 years in prison now for a crime I didn't commit. I go before them a 7th time. I was in that room approximately 15 minutes. And I told them, I'm sorry I did this, sorry I did that. And they asked me, did I have anything more to say that last minute? And something just came over me that said, Herb, do not leave this room without standing back on the truth. So I flipped my whole testimony and I told them I didn't do it. And they still gave me 2 more years. 3 months after that, the lawyer in Florida, retired. He reminiscing. My name popped up in his head. He goes to the basement to look for a civilian address, and he discovered that I was still incarcerated for the murder that I did not commit. And he reached out, he wrote me a letter. And be mindful, I have not tried to contact this person over 20 years. So he reached out to me and told me that what the judge told him after the verdict was rendered. The judge told him, had I went to a non-jury trial, he would have acquitted me. So I asked the lawyer, could he obtain a letter saying such? And he did. With the help of the Second Chance program, which is comprised of law students from Brooklyn College, they prepared the memorandum for me to reappear back at the parole board. And when I went before them that 8th time, and she read that letter, the only thing she said was, wow. Why didn't these people come forward all these years? And she let me out 8 days later. Glory, I was so happy. Hallelujah, I'm going home. But I'm here to tell you all here now, the worst aspect of my whole entire incarceration during that 29 years of my life was in Rikers Island. That is a horrible spot. It is people dying all over around us. The criminal justice victimized the residents, detainees, as well as the correction officer. It is overcrowded. The population, I was in the housing unit with 90 individuals, with 3 telephones, two TVs, and 8 showers. It caused so much violence. So I ask you to talk about this Rikers Island thing, please, because it had to close, because it is destroying too many lives. Thank you.